So here we are in spectacular Malta, and it's 8 years of filmmaking, billions of dollars, millions of years of dinosaurs.
Yep.
It's all over, done.
Yes. For me,
Devastation.
yeah. I mean, honestly, it's been so amazing, this experience with Colin and with J.A. on Fallen Kingdom and now Colin again, and with this cast and the way in which the cast has just grown and grown and grown into this ensemble that now includes the entire original cast of Jurassic Park. I mean, it's such a special experience on so many levels. And now that it's over, I mean, this is my last day of press
Okay.
on Jurassic.
This is it.
Period. This
Ta-da.
is it. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad.
Extinct.
I'm gonna cry later.
Literally extinct.
Yeah. It's definitely sad, but it's also, I'll kind of never get used to that it happened, and
Okay.
it's wonderful. And then getting to see like DeWanda Wise
Yep.
and her character and the possibility of where the story can go
Oh,
is
so
thrilling.
there is possibility of where it to
Although
go.
Scott, I mean, there has to be.
That's been the chat. Is there going to be any more? Is there something coming out?
I mean,
of
there
this?
has
All right.
to be another
It's the scoop.
film with dinosaurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bryce is confirmed. Job done. Headline. Print.
But this has not been confirmed. Like, this is me
It's
just
okay.
talking. Like, no, but for real. But yeah.
But also, like, I love the fact that the emotional pain, but also the physical pain. Like, all that stuff of you covered in all these bruises and
Yeah.
everything you went through. And I don't know how to. I was thinking, how do I say this? Like, when I think of you in a gushy kind of way, I think of these kind of eyes that I can't see at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I'm
But
so
these-
sorry.
it's
So
like-
bright here. I like my
It's
eyes.
like these kind of wells of emotion, and I love your roles. It's into the face, and it's intense and emotional. And I love the fact that discovering, researching that away from all of this, you are actually quite an action girl, rough and tumble, and you grew up away from Hollywood. It wasn't Fabergé eggs and tea parties.
No, definitely not. No, it was karate class, and mucking out the goat barn, stuff like that. Yeah, no, I love action films. I love being very physical, and I was, as a kid and then a teenager, I was teaching karate. I thought I wanted to go to college for basketball.
Okay.
And I had to decide between playing basketball and doing theater in high school. And it was one of the most difficult decisions
Okay.
I've ever made in my life. And
I
so it was
did not
really,
know.
it's just the physical aspect of
Being in your body and
being
using
in your body. It's
yeah.
just it's so rewarding.
Okay.
It's a
Awesome,
privilege,
awesome.
if you're able-bodied and whatnot. Like, it's really wonderful to get to express yourself in that way. And you
Okay.
also know that, there's bumps and bruises and scrapes, but you're safe. Like,
Okay.
I mean, yes, some of the stuff we do is a little dangerous, but we're prepared for it.
Okay.
And so it's basically, I'm not a risk taker in my life, but I love being on movie sets doing crazy stunts because it's fun.
Yeah, a 1,000,000%. And I know you went to NYU and finished 20 years later.
Yes.
But I wondered, because your father brought you up. I know you were on set for Cocoon and
yeah.
Mermaids and your Mermaid Tale and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But also, does there come a point, because obviously people that have been through the Hollywood system and your whole family, like aunts, grandparents, all that, everyone knows that system. Was there a point where they went, oh, was there advice, pushback, worry? We know now,
Yes.
women in Hollywood.
Yes. Well, you know what it was? There was a lot of sobering advice.
Okay.
And my dad, because he started working when he was so young and his parents were actors, and the way he was exposed to it was through his parents' work at first. And because he grew up on movie sets, quite literally, he thought that was normal. That
Okay.
kids, you bring your kid to work and they stay with you from 4 a.m. until 6 p.m. and that's what's normal. And I'm the oldest of all
Yep.
of my siblings. And so I really got to have that experience first. And I became utterly addicted
Okay.
to being on a movie set. And the thing that I've learned more than anything and taken away more than anything is that it is a young industry,
Mm-hmm.
and it's incredibly iterative.
Okay.
Things change all
Okay.
the time.
Okay.
And so what one generation might become accustomed
Okay.
to, the next generation
acceptable.
Exactly.
Okay, like
exactly.
that. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's it's kind of amazing because it's it's so fun to be a part of making movies because you're constantly trying to break new ground
Okay.
with the technology,
Okay.
with the cinema,
Okay.
and you know the performances, all of that. And so it's been it's been an experience where my parents definitely, they wanted me to know that I wouldn't be able to make a living, most
Okay.
likely, and that I would need to find a way to support myself. And so I studied a lot of different things and did a lot of
Okay.
random jobs so that I never felt like I was nannying full time while I was on Broadway as an actor.
Okay.
Like I was nannying still when I was doing The Village. And like an old family, a former family that I nannied for, like called me during The Village and was like, "Oh, hey, would you mind picking up some hours?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I can't. I'm in Philadelphia with Emma Shalom on this movie. I'm so sorry." But I never thought that that was going to continue or
Okay.
that I was going to be able to make a living. And I think that that's because my parents established those
Okay. And prepared you.
expectations. Yeah.
And also in terms of the, I mean, we know now what's happened with Me Too, and your father would have seen probably a lot that he didn't want to see. And did they warn you? Did they prepare you? Did they need to, or have you been able to
I
take care of?
I was my grandmother was an actor, and she left the business, and then when she was in her 60s she started working again, and she would take me to her scene study class with her, and so I would hear all these stories
Okay.
from actresses in their 60s, 70s, and
Wow.
80s.
Okay.
And so yes, I yeah, no, for sure. And my parents definitely, um I knew the person to never have a meeting with.
Okay.
And that is something that is very
God.
lucky and very
Yeah.
privileged information.
Okay.
And I have been very fortunate in that regard. And not every actor coming up has access to that information, who to
Okay.
kind of steer clear of, who's safe, who's not. But the industry changed forever in
Good.
2017.
Yep.
And I have felt the difference.
Good.
Everyone I've talked to has felt the difference, and it's a different workplace. And my daughter is very, very interested in becoming an actor, and I'm basically creating every hurdle possible to just make sure that she really, really wants to do it. But I'm like, it's safer now.
All right.
It's
Cool.
a safer place.
And also you'll be sort of on both sides, which I love the fact that we now have not just powerful woman on screen, 3 powerful women in this film, but now you're going behind the camera as well.
Aw.
And I feel like I want to scream across the harbor that Star Wars. I know it's off brand, but also it's you know, we can all live and love
I
together.
think Star Wars and Jurassic are first cousins.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, Kathy Kennedy produced
All right.
Jurassic Park
Okay.
with
So
Frank
we're allowed.
Marshall.
So
Yes,
let's talk Star
exactly.
Wars. Oh
We
my
can.
God. Like I feel like I want let's scream, or like, you know, they've got cannons here. I feel like set off a cannon or something. But
Aw.
and I know that you grew up with knowing George Lucas and Natalie Portman, but I mean I can see the smile. Like literally
I love it so
you're
much.
part of Star Wars.
It's
Like,
so crazy. And if there's ever a point in my life where I'm like not connected to it in some way, it's only because they kicked me out.
You're
Not
like, no,
because
no.
I left. No.
So there's more to come.
I can't. I mean, I just.
A film?
I-
A female director of a Star Wars film?
I mean,
Just saying.
I have. Listen, keep saying it.
Yeah,
I
make
love
it
it,
happen.
and I know that Kathy is very, very, very focused
Uh-huh.
on empowering many individuals. I actually was really lucky because the way that I got into Mandalorian was I was, and I haven't talked about this a lot. I was doing a program within Lucasfilm, writing my own short film for me to direct. And it was a group of filmmakers that I came up with, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're here too! You're here too! We went to NYU together!" Like, you know, it was very, very, very cool. And the purpose of that program was to support emerging voices, and a lot of folks from that program have gone on to be involved. And so, Lucasfilm has been incredibly intentional in terms of creating opportunities for emerging artists, and I'm going to take advantage
She's
of
gonna run with
that.
With your dad. Do you talk
Yes.
about directing? Like as
Oh,
as,
yes.
as as friends, as family, as
Yes.
colleagues now?
Yes, yeah. Well, my dad was very strange because he always included me in his directing journey, and we have footage of this.
Okay.
We have home movies of literally me being 5 years old and my dad being like, oh, so I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with that, and I'm like, listen, it's gonna be okay. Like,
You're
it's
already.
just yeah, and
Awesome.
again, I think it's because he was a child actor, and he
That's
and
life.
he got to
That's
be
the life.
collaborative, and so he just assumed that maybe I would have something to say of value, which
And I heard
was awesome.
that a throwaway comment interview that you did where you were like, he wants to act again. I'm like, why isn't this make
Oh,
this happen?
He
Like,
does want to act.
yeah,
Yeah.
seriously, I don't
Yeah.
know this. Like,
Yeah.
why don't we have Ron? Like, literally, Happy Days it would be. To...
I mean, it's so. I think the tricky thing with my dad is that he never stops working.
Okay.
Like last year, we were both living in the UK at the same time, and we would see each other. We actually moved to the same building, and then we would just see each other constantly. And he was just always working. And I was like, how many active projects do you have right now, like that are in production, that is like on you? He's like, well, I'm directing 4 movies right now.
Oh my God.
4 movies. He was doing 13 Lives. He was directing a documentary that just came out. He was prepping an animated film, and then there's another project that I can't talk about.
And he wants to act as well.
And he wants to
I
act.
mean, and you still haven't seen Happy Days?
For
the
the
record.
Not fully, not like
An
not
episode?
enough to really like I've seen some sections.
And how does he feel about that?
He probably thinks it's rude. I don't know. I mean, he's supportive.
You
He's
want me to talk about-
supportive. He
okay,
would feel
that's
very
cool. That's
awkward,
cool,
like
cool.
sitting me down and making me
All right.
watch
Okay.
Happy Days.
We
But
won't talk about that.
no, he wants to act badly, but the man does not have time.
London Theatre. We've got lots of actors coming over. London Theatre. I've just seen Amy Adams and stuff.
Oh,
and
yes.
Bill Pullman and whatever. Can we
I
get Bryce on London stage?
I mean, I would love that. I've never I've never done any theater in London at all.
Okay, good. Good to know.
But that would be incredibly cool.
Dream role, dream project.
Dream role, dream project. No idea.
All right,
No
we
idea.
haven't got time for that.
No
That's
idea.
absolutely fine. Keep it moving.
I'm like a queen, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. And then Chris Pratt, you met him like when he was nothing. He was nobody. He was like, then suddenly he's like megastar, megalosaurus. I don't know what you want to call it. Has he changed? Is he awful? Like
Not
deep in it? Come on.
Not one single bit. He's actually
No, don't.
become more, I mean, as if he could be anywhere. I actually sent him a text yesterday because Gina Davis posted something about Tom Hanks and called him a prince. And I texted Chris and I was like, this is how I would describe you. You're a prince. You're a prince.
Damn it.
I mean, he's just a wonderful human being. He's an incredibly earnest person. He can't really like if you're sarcastic with him, like he doesn't read it. Like he's that sweet.
Okay.
He's also hilarious. He's also handsome. Like I like Chris Pratt a lot.
Come on, is he a terrible kisser?
No.
Oh, come on.
No, there's
At least
actually
he could be rubbish.
there's nothing I don't love about Chris.
Even the kissing, all right. And
Yeah.
I stole this from Tessa Thompson when I was at another junket, and it was the question of what does Chris Hemsworth smell like? So in your mind, what does Chris Pratt smell like?
Oh, what does he smell like?
Yeah. And it almost like figuratively or spiritually, or what do you think of when you?
I
think
mean, I'll
of...
tell you what just came into my mind.
Yeah, go on.
Barbecue.
She said like Hemsworth was a baby's bottom and delightful, but Chris Pratt is barbecue. Well, that's
Barbecue.
Kind of
Well, it's just
spicy and
delicious.
delicious
It's delicious, and it's like just full of just goodness
and juicy as well.
and juicy and just like you smell it and you're like, I want that
All right.
in a professional, respectful, platonic kind of way. I want to be friends with that person. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been delightfully juicy for me, and I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. So fun.
Thank you.